I'm making Chipotle BBQ sauce today. This is one of my family's favorite things for marinating chicken or quail or any number of other meats. It's also really good on a mushroom and Swiss burger. Oh my goodness, super great. So it has just a little bit of heat to it, as well as the sweetness and slightly smokiness that you would expect in a barbecue sauce. I've already prepared my vegetables by quartering 13 pounds of tomatoes, dicing 2 large onions, 2 cups of celery, and 1.5 cups of sweet red peppers. Now I'll take my tomatoes and I'll put them on the stove and bring them to a simmer for about 20 minutes. The key here is that I want them soft enough that they can go through a food mill. With the tomatoes nice and soft, I'll go ahead and feed them into the hopper, and then they'll go through my food mill, which conveniently draws out all of the seeds and skin. And then all of the pulp and juice will come down this spout. And I actually really like to use my husband's honey strainer so that I can pull out the pulp from the juice. So the juice will continue on down into my bucket. The pulp will get caught in the honey strainer, which has both a coarse strainer and a fine strainer. And this is really nice because it reduces the time that I would have to reduce it down. So then sometimes when it's almost done like this one, it'll have a lot of liquid in here so that it's kind of at capacity. But I don't necessarily want to empty it yet because I want to get as much of that liquid down into the bucket as possible. I'll just kind of move it around with the spatula, and that gives me a little bit more room. I like to make this sauce pretty thick because I do add a few other liquids to it, so that'll thin it out some. Besides, it's a barbecue sauce. It shouldn't be thin. So now I'll take the top portion of the honey strainer out, and it's gonna drip all over, so I'll be careful about how I do that, and I'll dump that into my pan. And then I'll do the same thing with the lower, finer strainer. Okay, so now that it's nice and thick, I'll go ahead and put it into my pan as well. And then if you take a look at the skins and seeds, there's actually a lot of moisture and pulp still in that, so I'm gonna run it through a second time. The first little bit that comes out of the end is usually still pretty moist, and so I'll throw that back into, and then the rest should be pretty dry. So now if you look at that, that's nice and dry, and I feel like that's good. Some people will mix that with peanut butter and put it out for the birds. Kind of a good thing, especially in the wintertime. And then if you look, there's actually so much more pulp in here just from that little bit that I did. So definitely worth doing it. I then take my sauce and I add my 2 onions, 2 cups of celery, 1.5 cups of red pepper, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of dry mustard, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of liquid smoke. This is what gives it that real smoky, barbecue-y flavor. And 1 tablespoon of salt, as well as 1 teaspoon of chipotle pepper powder, which is of course what provides the little bit of spice to it, and then chipotle peppers are smoked as well, so a little bit more smoky flavor from that too. And half of a teaspoon of pepper. I'll then place this on the stove and bring it to a simmer. I ended up simmering it for about 30 minutes, just until the vegetables are nice and soft. And then I'll add it to my blender because I want this to be a nice smooth sauce. You could have it chunky, I suppose, but I like it smooth. I really like the Vitamix. We've tried a couple different brands and they didn't work as well. This isn't a paid anything, but it's just my preference. And then I'll go ahead and turn it on and get it all the way up to high so that it's nice and smooth. And then I'll put it on the stove and bring it back up to a simmer. And if it wasn't the thickness that I liked, I would continue cooking it down. If I thought it was a little too thick, I could add back some of the tomato juice I took out. For me, this is just about perfect. So as soon as it gets to a simmer, I'll be ready to jar it. Now I'll fill up my pint-sized jars to 1/2 inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. I can smell all that smokiness. And if you get extra in any of the jars, you can just scoop it out and put it in the next one. I'll then use a clean damp cloth to clean off the rim of my jars. This is just so that if there's any food on the rim, that it won't interfere with the seal. Then I'll place my lids and rings on fingertip tight. I'll then place these in the boiling water bath and process them for 20 minutes. If I'm at sea level, I'm at 1,200 feet, so it'll be for 25. Now that the water has come to a nice rapid boil, I'll go ahead and set my timer for 25 minutes. Now that the time has elapsed, I'll take off the lid, turn off the heat, and allow it to cool for 5 minutes. Then I'll remove these from the counter and put them on a heat-safe surface about 1 to 2 inches apart, and that just allows them to cool down just a little bit faster. And then I'll leave them on the counter for 24 hours undisturbed. Then I'll come back later and I'll remove the ring and use hot soapy water to wash off the jars and then store them in a cool, dry, dark location. Home canned goods are usually best in the first 1 to 3 years. It's time for my favorite part, the taste test. If your little guys are sensitive to heat, or even some of your big guys, you can always reduce that chipotle pepper powder. But it has a sweetness to it, and smoky, and then spicy on the way down. That's how I would describe it. Like I said, perfect for a hamburger or any kind of a marinade. You know, it's barbecue sauce. So.